right, so it's time for a ranch update. We're going in, what is the date? It's like mid-November. It's like November 17th or 18th right now, 2022. And so we did a lot of things trying to scramble. We have been scrambling our asses off. We got snow already. You can see we got mule deer up on the mountain, and the mule deer are moving in, which means the predators are moving in. So a lot more coyotes. We got cougars and wolves. The bears are hibernating now, but we had a few around, and so livestock guardian Dobbs doing his job really well. We got a girl on the way, by the way. That's fun. Little teeny cute puppy, and so Storm's gonna have a girlfriend, and we'll have puppies. So in case you want puppies out of Storm, and her name's gonna be Rain, we're probably another year and a half out or so, but we'll be having full Anatolian Shepherd puppies here soon, so it'll be lots of fun. Anyway, so this is the remnants of the septic system, and the septic system, you can see that some of the ground has settled, and we anticipated that, but we now have the ability to add on, and we have a large enough septic system to add on to both homes. And the other thing is super good news. I'm so stoked. We just got our occupancy permit on the main home. And the reason for that is that the previous owners did like a lot of farmy ranchy people, including me, which is we just build what we want without worrying about what the county or the city or the powers that be think about it. And so they took what was permitted as a garage and shop and turned it into their home. Well, we were officially squatting, and so were they, on a non-legal residence. And so we went through the process, and this is something to know, is that there's 3 different ways here in Idaho, and I'm sure you're in states that have similar laws, or I hope so, which is you can add an additional dwelling to your property if it falls under mother-in-law quarters, which is limited to only 900 square feet of livable space, which neither of ours were, so we couldn't do that. And then the other 2, which is a caretaker quarters or an agriculture employee quarters. And in Idaho, you had to prove that you had somebody working for you, and you had to prove that you had animals that needed to be taken care of. And so we did that. And then we went through the process of making sure that this home was properly inspected, which was a big giant pain in the butt. And one of the things we had to do was to provide an adequate septic system for the number of bedrooms and upgrade that. And that was our most expensive piece. And luckily we got a really good friend deal on it, and it wasn't super crazy. So now we got a bunch of mud to deal with during the winter, which is a pain in the butt. And what happened is we had to reconfigure some of our fences because our drainage system is down there. So the other thing is too, as soon as you let Storm know that he has a new option of a way to get out, then he incessantly looks for the next new way forever. So we've gone through that cycle with him. We got him contained. He's not getting out anymore. And so we feel really blessed. One of the things we did to get creative to do something with the mud is that there's this really cool story I like telling, and it was a college campus. It's in one of my objectives in business as well. There was a college campus one time that built a whole campus, and then when they built the campus, they just lawned everything in. So they did it all in grass. And when they did it in grass, what they did is they let the kids trample down the spots that traffic flows, and where the grass died, they built sidewalks. So pretty cool idea, right? Instead of kind of guessing where flow is, pay attention to where flow is and then build to that. And so this is kind of the same theory, although I didn't want to be stepping in mud because this is our main flow. And we got this thing, these are recycled out of tires. It's a Home Depot product. They're more expensive than I'd want. To do this whole walkway and these things was about $700, so I wished it wasn't so expensive. They're about $10 for a 4-foot piece. And they're really cool. They build up the edges. So when we plant the grass, we'll bevel that off and it'll all be even and it'll hold this walkway. And then in the future, if I ever want to create like a sandstone or something like that, this will be a basis for that. But to just get it done and, be ready for winter and have it be quick, we just use crushed gravel, and it's working really nice and we're happy with it. So that's kind of what we did. And we created these pathways and, all that fun stuff. So you can see, so we have the pathways from here and then into the north end home up to the shop and the tractor barn and all that stuff up there. And the system's working really nicely. We have the bucklings in here right now because we're changing a pen configuration. I'm going to show you that next, but we're getting ready. I think all the does are bred. We were waiting for Harry to come in, and I think we had a breakout buck earlier, and I think she maybe got bred then. But I'm still, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and castrate 2 of them, and well, 3 of them, and then I'm going to leave 1 in with the does, so in case somebody comes back into heat or they need, he's going to be my cleanup buck, and he'll go ahead and breed any does that we missed or came in later, and we'll try to document that and pay attention to it. So but this is another thing we did for winter. And what we did is we built this breezeway, and I already showed you this breezeway, and by the way, it's working awesome. The other thing that we're doing is we actually bring in like 8 or 9 bales of hay at once, and we put it all in the center column. And then that way we're only hauling bales in here once every 5 or 6 days rather than every morning and every evening throwing bales in the chore truck and doing it. We just kind of house about 9 bales there, and that's made our life easier as well. If you also come over here, this is our spring that starts in the winter, and I wanted to contain this spring away from the goats and the animals, so I dug it out deeper. I created a barrier around the edge, and then I made it loop around that way, and it actually drains down and across the road, and so that system's working nicely. Where last year this filled up, ran over the top of the road, and then we had like this ice lake situation going on, and it didn't work well, and we didn't like it. So I'm glad we kind of got that one figured out. And the other thing is we're starting to move all our piles of stuff, like up here, you guys, this this is our shed, or I mean our shop, and the snow will pile up on there and slough on, and then it buries everything that we store here on this end. So we're trying to now, the tractor barn, we have the meeting space on the right, but we lost 3 big bays. So we're gonna try to build 3 more bays on that side and then increase the meeting space, because the events that we're doing here are starting to get large, and we need a little more indoor space and we need more outdoor space. And so we're gonna be kind of redoing that again and scaling our growth here. But the difference is, last year I learned how I have to place snow and how it works, and now I'm placing snow in different locations and equipment in different locations, because here pretty soon we're gonna have 2 to 3 feet of snow, and it'll stay all winter, which then locks down equipment and locks down things that we need if we don't get everything staged either under cover or in a place where we can easily get to it. So this is one of the other projects that we need to do to get ready for winter, is just make sure we have enough wood. And Kelson, my hired man, is like a logging machine. Guy's like got big ass chainsaws, and he loves it. It's like one of his passions. But these are the size of the rounds we hauled out. And so we split these. Amazingly enough, you guys, I've always avoided really big wood like this. And he changed my mind about it. Basically, this is way easier to split than you would think, because you take it off in squares. I didn't ever know that. And it splits really nice. Plus, this is red fir, and red fir is full of really dense pitch, and these are burning super long, and they're working great. That cat is gonna, will you get out of there, Stinky? This is Stinky, the ranch cat. He's kind of a everybody favorite, and he's like a dog cat, follows me around when we're doing stuff. Go on, Stinker. But anyway, so these rounds are so big that we filled our entire dump trailer with like 8 of those rounds. You will not believe how many pieces of split wood are in that round. It's crazy. So I believe we got just short of 2 cords out of 8 or 9 rounds. So it was awesome. So if you step over here, Kelson also has a pretty creative way that he stacks wood, and it's not something that I've ever seen before, but he uses these columns on each end that allow the wood to stack really nicely. And because of that, then we have a really nice stack of wood. And our plan is to stage wood up here, because my wood shed close to the houses are small, that will stage the majority of our wood here. We'll just tarp the top so it get airflow on the inside, and then we'll be able to come up here and grab truckloads of it. We should only need like 2 more refills in the wood shed before the end of winter. So we actually have more than 1 year's worth of wood in this supply in 2 trips. So we feel really blessed that we got full wood. Now, if I walk you up over here, this is the other thing I wanted to show you, which having accessible, easy parking is such a big deal. And we're going to show you the JCB that did this work, because I'm going to rave about that. But the having accessible, easy, flat parking is really critical during the winter, because you can pile up snow in front of equipment and then never be able to get to it. So what we did is I dug this out. This was only half of this. So with my skidster, my JCB, which is a backhoe loader, it's a little mini guy, I dug all this out, piled the dirt up here, and then created a whole nother bay. So now most of our equipment that we need to put in a parking space that's kind of out of the way, we created in about 2 or 3 hours with that skidster. And I'm going to show you the JCB because this thing has been a lifesaver. So let's go there next. So again, the ranch update always takes a few segments. So what we're going to do is we're going to break the video here. On the next one, which I suggest you watch, I'm going to break down the JCB and why I love that thing so much and why it's been such a valuable piece of equipment for us. But do remember, if you like these videos, make sure you click to subscribe, leave us a comment. You know, don't forget our specialty is goats. Anything that you need to understand goats of any kind, meat goats, pack goats, pet goats, milk goats, helping goats have babies. We have courses and information and a goat club membership that can help you all with that, and you don't have to guess anymore, and we can hold your hand through the process. And the other thing is that we're launching down the road towards the lifesteading movement. As the founder of the lifesteading movement, we're just acknowledging that there's this holistic look at land, and that not only is it about like learning how to animal husbandry and raising goats and chickens and, you know, vegetables and power production, but it's also about what you're doing in your personal life and the effect you have on community and building yourself up so that you have a full bucket so you can pour into humanity as well. Because that's what Ripple Ranch is all about. We're about, you know, kindness, love, and gratitude to the world. So stay tuned for the next video. We're going to start out with the JCB, and we'll get over there, and it'll be out here in a few days. So you just have to wait. We're cliffhanging you on the JCB.